Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Byars. I'm the founder of Corporate Women Unleashed, and I'm super excited. We have an exciting client story today. Shawn is here. She's the chief marketing officer of a large nonprofit, and she's here to share her story, what brought her to CWU and her results. And Shawn, I couldn't be happier that you're here. Thanks so much. Your words are going to make a difference for someone else.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, why don't we just jump in and tell me like where what are the results? In other words, where are you now after your 8 weeks with us in Corporate Women Unleashed?
It's funny. So circumstances are all the same, well, similar, but my mental state and the tools that I have now to be able to deal with the juggling of work and family and commute and kids and multiple priorities up in the air at once. I actually have the tools and the ability to handle it quite well versus 8 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. Okay. So what does quite well look like? Give us some color to that. I mean, are you finding, I don't know, are you more present when you're home? So you're actually like getting the juice of
okay, so definitely. So if we look at family perspective, I'm definitely more present. I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, or a 5.5-year-old and 2.5-year-old. And prior to starting this journey with you guys, I was getting frustrated a lot at home. By the end of the day, like my coworkers and my colleagues were getting the best of me, and my family was getting the worst of me. So, and still, I mean, I still have to have moments where, they're 5 and 2 and I need to take a breath. But truly, I mean, I can be present when building a fort with my daughter, and when they're in the bath now, I'm not necessarily checking my emails while sitting in there having their bath. I put my phone down way more. And definitely I've seen a difference. I've probably seen more of a difference just in how I feel when I'm home. I feel calmer and more relaxed.
Yeah. Why do you think, like, because you're not rushing to kind of get everything done or cram it all in?
Well, more so, I have a hard time when I'm being pulled in multiple directions, which we all are. And as a mom, and then having a team of 11 people directly reporting to me, I constantly felt like there was this niggle in the back of my head of, oh my gosh, I have to get that done and I have to get this done. And when the kids go to bed, I just need to get them to go to bed so that I can get X, Y, and Z done, right? And now I don't.
You don't. The niggle. People forget the niggle.
Yeah.
That little thing in the back of our heads destroys quality of life, right? Because you can't ever just be present. You're just always thinking, oh, there's a thing I have to do.
Yeah.
I love that. That was a hard one for me to overcome. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm more present at home. And then I find that work-wise, it's, oh gosh, where to even begin? I mean, I have clarity where I didn't have clarity before. I have the mechanism to be able to find clarity when I don't, and not approaching things with anxiety and fear, but more so from curiosity and looking at it like, that's an interesting, somewhat perplexing problem. How might I tackle that? Who do I need to ask for help from, or can I do it on my own? It's just coming at it from a totally different approach, whereas the problem is still the same as it was before, but the way I'm handling it is different. So not from a place of fear or anxiety, but more so, I know I can figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, I'll find out who can help me figure it out. And we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. It's just a problem. We have them all day long. You just answer it. It doesn't have to spin
right?
to 10 different directions. That is so beautiful. Okay. So tell us, Shawn, where were you then before you came to CWU? Like what was kind of going on? I mean, obviously the opposite of all these things you just talked about, but was there a trigger or something that you were like, okay, this just isn't working?
So it was, I've been searching for a while because I've been back to work now for a year and a half after my second child, and really just struggling with the work-life balance of trying to please everybody and make sure that everybody's okay at home and at work. And so I was searching, and I came across you on Facebook, and you were offering a free webinar, and I laid in bed, I signed up, and I laid in bed, and I was talking to the phone. I was like, she is talking to me. She's talking to me right now. And then, so then I signed up, and I signed up for the free call, and I talked to Jamie, who was lovely, and that done deal, because it was it was hitting every bullet point of my pain points, of areas of stress in my life. And what I also liked, because I was looking at other courses at universities even, but they were like 4-day intensives. What are you going to be able to implement after 4 days? No offense to those, and I'm sure they're great, but this is 8 weeks where you have time to think about everything and then put it into practice and then go, oh, that didn't actually go the way I thought it would. And then come back to you guys and say, that didn't go the way I thought it would. And then you guys help along, right?
Yeah. Yes. And that was important for me too. I'm so glad you said that, just as a sidebar, but I had been to a lot of those types of things in different corporate development, professional development. And it's so exciting when you're there. It's like a 4-day intensive and you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And again, you get some good ideas out of that. But then when it comes to application, you're kind of on your own. And it really leaves you to say, like, am I really getting the full benefit of what I've just learned? Am I doing it right? Is there a better way? Yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to have that opportunity.
This was also a holistic approach, whereas that was all business, right? This is, again, it's corporate women unleashed, and I get that, and it's for women in executive women, but it touches all aspects of your life, and you see the benefits in all aspects of your life, not just at work.
Right. Yeah, no, we do. It's like we want, it's well-being all across. I love it. Okay. So you said you've been looking for a while. What were you looking for? Was it just like going through these courses, or was it like you trying different strategies, like, I don't know, calendar management and some of those more typical things?
So I did, oh my gosh, I did everything. So I did calendar management, bullet journaling, which like it's still great, but it actually doesn't meet all your needs of what you need to accomplish. I had the priority
matrix.
Yep. Up on my whiteboard up there. I've got a huge whiteboard. And so moving the priorities around, I had sticky notes, and then I had lists, and then I had Excel spreadsheets, and I had Smartsheet. And then I had changing my one-on-ones with my staff to every 2 weeks. So I was trying everything and had no idea how to help from the home life perspective, other than try not to be tired when you get home. Right. So,
right.
And then I went online to look at other courses or look at coaching programs, and nothing obviously resonated enough for me to take the leap to sign up.
Yeah. So we found you. I love it.
Well, I was mindlessly scrolling through Facebook, which I actually don't do anymore.
Isn't that great? I love it. So we've just shut that door for you, because that's one of the things we're like, stop doing Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anything that happened right away in the program as you came in and you were like, this was, because, you know, as you move into something like this, and I don't care whether you're taking tennis lessons from someone or what kind of training, you don't always know what you're going to get. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're coming in kind of blind going, there's an outcome I'm looking for. What are we going to have to do? Was there anything that sort of shocked you, intrigued you, you thought was different, strange?
So a couple of things. So, a couple of things. One, I was already really overwhelmed in my life, and my way of being was, I need to tackle everything and get it all done, right? So then when I signed up, I actually became more overwhelmed.
Sure.
And what was great was that I reached out to you guys, and you guys said, no, that's not the point of this, and don't eat the whole elephant, and just do one thing at a time. So it was an insight then into my own natural behavior of trying to take on everything at once and get it all done immediately and see results. The other thing that I found interesting, so not going into too much detail about each week, but as soon as there was the actually, there's two things, a whole bunch of things, but the week one, when we had to look at basically how we've been prioritizing and looking at where we need to focus more on in our lives, I think that's really interesting, the needs map. Yeah. And then the other part was when we did self-introspection, so looking at yourself and patterns of behavior from the past. It actually applies to everything now. So anytime I have a stressor in my life, I go, I know what that is. And sometimes I still get upset, obviously, because I'm human, and until I'm 102 sitting on my front porch, I might still be upset by things, but I can get over it faster, or I can go through the process that you taught us and get out of it faster. And then the emotion is over here. And then I can look at the problem over here and say, oh, that's interesting. How am I going to tackle that? Whereas before, you just had all the emotion and and then you you can't problem solve in that.
No. Yeah, you can't, because the emotion just takes over. You're festering, you're frustrated, you're tired, you're anxious, whatever it is. Those are beautiful.
And then also the women. So the women, the fact that this is group and being able to speak to and see on Zoom women from around the world. So, I mean, I'm in Canada. I actually don't think there were any other Canadians while I was there, but I'm from Canada. There was women from Australia and the UK and the US. And I just, it was really a neat experience to hear different perspectives from around the world. We're all the same. And it felt very inclusive and like a good support network, to the point where now I'm sad that I'm not on those Friday calls anymore.
Isn't that crazy how something that is so global, just through video, like we can create that connection? Like that was, when we first tried that, I was like, let's see how this works. It's magic, because you're like, oh my gosh, she's like continents away from me, but she's experiencing what I'm experiencing.
Yes.
And you can get best practices from her, and then you're sharing what's going on for you, and then like everyone is learning like exponentially. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, what about ancillary results? Because what I'm hearing is you're calmer, you're more balanced, you're more present at home. Anything else, like, is your team kind of noticed, like, wow, Shawn, you've leveled up? Or is your husband like, hey, you're kind of a lot more fun now? Or, any of those types of external sort of things where people are seeing you different?
So a couple of things. One, I think that I struggled, as many women do, with I'm the boss or a boss in this organization, and but I still want to be nice and I want them to like me. And my team's happiness is my number one priority. And I learned very quickly that I am not responsible for other people's happiness, and not in a disrespectful way am I saying that, but I'm not. I can't control how other people feel. I can only treat them with empathy, kindness, and respect. But with that being said, tough conversations became easier. I actually became way more straightforward. And we have implemented, oh my gosh, we actually just today, for the first time, implemented the team meeting process. Our team meetings, we were usually an hour, and we would always go over by 15, 20 minutes. Today, we ended, so we had 30 minutes. We ended 3 minutes early. So 20 minutes, we got it done. So
everyone's totally clear on what's going on, which is awesome.
So from my perspective, I'm more efficient. The team, we've actually restructured. So I went from 11 direct reports to 2, and it actually is going to not only benefit me, but the team members, because I felt like I was abandoning them half the time, right? I couldn't be everywhere all the time. They've got clearly defined expectations, and I set actual deadlines now, whereas before I would say, whenever you can get it to me, and then I'd be like, where is that?
Yes, totally.
Not fair to the team. And it's little patterns of behavior that it's your automatic way of being, and you don't notice it until it's pointed out that, oh my gosh, I do that.
Right.
And yeah, so our processes have changed. So I wouldn't actually say that the team thinks that I'm happier, but I'm more straightforward. They get what they need from me in a faster, more efficient way. Mm-hmm. And my kids probably think I'm goofier, because now my goofiness is coming out at home.
Oh, isn't that nice? You can just be silly and fun mom, not uptight mom who's like, hurry up and take your bath.
And that's what I was. I was uptight mom, and I was actually way more fun at work. And not that I can't still have fun at work, but I'm much more, let's get her done. Yep. And let's do it in an enjoyable way. But then I get home and I can, toss my daughter around and make forts and have fun with them.
And you can put that into that part of your life, which is really where that matters. But you're still fun and approachable at work, but there's more structure, there's more rigor. And I think what you're going to find, you've just recently graduated the 8 weeks, but I think you're going to find your team is going to be happier, because they're going to have very clear expectations. They'll know when they're hitting the mark, and it's just going to be fun. You know what I mean? Like that clarity is priceless.
Yeah.
Good for you. Oh my goodness. I love that. What else do I want to ask? Any big takeaway? Like here, I guess Shawn 1.0, Shawn a couple of months ago was watching this. Mm-hmm. Anything you would say to her, you would want another woman out there who is, feeling the crush of her career, going, man, this was supposed to be fun. Like, why is this not great? Like what advice, or I don't know, what would you pass on?
So I would say that, I I think without the tools that you've given me, I would have still been in the same place. And that with help, and a lot of women don't want to ask for help, but with help, you can actually get there, and you can get to a place where no, not every day at work is fun, and not every day at home is fun, nor will it ever be, but you come at it from a different, fresh eyes, a different perspective. And you don't have that tightness in your chest or the anxiety, or if it does come, you can get rid of it a lot faster. Yeah. And again, because of the 8-week structure, you have time to implement, test, and see how it works, what works for you, what doesn't work. And so you can see change. And anyone who's thinking of signing up for this, I would say really stick to the 20 minutes minimum a day of going into base camp and doing a little bit of reading and listening. And if you struggle in any way, just put your hand up on help desk, because you guys are all there.
We are, and we totally, yeah. And that's a really good point, because, you know, what we're doing in this 8 weeks is we're changing behavior and habit, like habitual patterns that we've learned through, you know, childhood, our career, that really are not serving us. And so of course we all get to this whatever level of success, you know, that we thought it was going to start getting easier, and it's not, but we brought all that baggage with us. Yeah. And it's like, once you start kind of like learning how to sift through that baggage and say, wait, these are ways of being I don't need anymore. It's just like a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh my gosh, life is just so much easier. I don't know if you've had that experience yet, but I know it's just like, wow.
I have. The last month of my time with you guys, I was sick, and then I'm sick again. But I also find, even in the days where you don't feel well and it's a long day, the level of stress just isn't there anymore. Yeah. It's just not. I mean, this is super cliche, but the program is life-changing. And what I don't like about saying that is that anybody can say that, but it actually is, and it's usable. And my biggest pet peeve about self-help books or things that probably other women have reached out to and then have found you beforehand, right, would be that it's actually not implementable. It's theory where it's not applicable to each individual's life. And this is men or women, actually. This would be great for all. And because of the 8 weeks, then you're already in a new pattern of behavior to be committed to continue on, versus it being a very short time where then you haven't created a new habit. Whereas now I have, like, I am implementing left, right, and center.
Yeah, because it's just part of this is your new habit, this new way of being. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. And that's what's so great, because now it's not willpower, I'm trying to behave in this way. It's just my way of being now. This is how I now operate. God,
yeah. I'm way more efficient. Yeah. And I remember when I signed up and in your webinar, or it was, you'll get more time back in your day and you'll be more efficient. And I think it was like 5 to 10 hours a week. And I was like, well, we'll see about that. It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Not saying that it works.
No, it's because the way you look at time and structure of your day is different.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it all starts with that week 1, right? Getting your needs met. If you can figure that out right off the bat, you've already gotten time right there. It's like magic.
It's a brilliant course. It should be offered in schools. Actually, it should be offered to teenagers.
You know, you're the second or third client who said that to me. Like, we should have this in high schools. Like, people should learn, like, as you go out into the world, this is
life skill
you need to be operating.
Life skills. This is basic life skills that I didn't have. And I'm not going to say how old I am, but it's been a while that I haven't had them.
I didn't either for a really long time. I know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You look at that. High schoolers.
Grateful. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll be part of it.
That'll be so awesome, Shawn. Well, we're so grateful for you. I'm grateful for you sharing your story, first of all. It's like magic. I never know what you guys are going to say. So it's like really fun for me to hear like the journey and these sort of synopsized stories. Yeah. But it's going to make a difference. There's another, again, Shawn's out there watching, and I appreciate you, but I also appreciate you coming in and doing that 20 to 30 minutes a day, and really being one of those clients who's like, I am going to suck the juice out of this and I'm going to apply it. And you did it. It wasn't always easy, but it works, right? It works. And so thank you. So that's, we're super grateful for you.
Well, I'm grateful for you guys.
Awesome. Shawn, thank you so much. Fabulous story. Thanks for sharing. And just really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.